Alright, so we're back with another battle report. I have my Imperial Guard out again, taking on a revenge mission versus the Death Guard. I played these guys once with my Necrons and got totally whooped, so we're going to try and get some revenge with my Guard, rather. The mission we rolled is the Scouring. Has these weird boxed deployments, so we're all kind of boxed up in the middle of our deployment zones here. So what I have is 2 squads in Chimeras right there. They're just normal infantry squads with a melta-gun in each one. 9 Bulgrin with 2 Psykers behind them, a Wyvern. This is not a Vendetta, that's a Valkyrie with multiple rocket pods and a multi-laser. There's another infantry squad with a melta-gun inside there. 2 more identical Chimeras there, just infantry squads with a melta-gun inside. A lone Sentinel. There is a company commander. He has the Warlord trait Old Grudges, and I have chosen his Blight Haulers as my Old Grudges target, so I'll get a reroll wound against those. And then I have a Manticore with the Tank Ace that does flat 3 damage. And then finally, over there's a squad of Mortars. So that's my army that's on the board. In reserves, I have a Leman Russ Demolisher Tank Commander, and then a Company Commander and 2 command squads with all melta-guns. And they're just in strategic reserve, so they'll come in on the edges. And then going on to the Death Guard, he has infiltrated a bunch of Nurglings. There. Here in the middle, and then finally way over there in the building. So he's got a bunch of Nurglings, and then he has 2 HQs here. Of course, he has the big Lord Discordant in the middle giving all the buffs, and a Plague Caster there. 2 Plague Burst Crawlers. That is a single unit of 3 Blight Haulers with meltas and missiles. A squad of 5, here they are. 5 Plague Marines and a Rhino. The identical squad over there in a Rhino. And then 2 Bloat Drones and a Defiler. And he has nothing in reserve, he's all on the table. And he took is it a relic or is it a warlord? He took a relic from his Lord Discordant that gives all the demon engines a 4-up invulnerable save that are within 7 inches. And the way it's positioned right now, it hits everything on the first turn. So that'll be fun to try and shoot through. But we'll be back at first turn and see who goes first. Alright, so we're back with Death Guard turn 1. They won the roll to go first, and it was quite painful. They moved forward and shot in, and everything shot into the Valkyrie and exploded it, but that wasn't the painful part. The hurt is I had one of my Psykers a little too close, and he died in the explosion. So I lost my +1 saving throw on my Ogren, or my Bulgrin rather, so that was painful. But nobody inside died when it exploded. I didn't roll a single one for the squad, so they all just deployed there. And then some tanks also took some damage from the explosion. So that's where we're at. He has a bunch of Nurglings on objectives, so he's holding 4 of them currently. So I gotta run up and contest a bunch of objectives, and we'll be back with Imperial Guard turn 1 and see how we punch back. Alright, so we're back with Imperial Guard turn 1, and we were able to punch back pretty well. We moved up and killed the Nurglings off the center objective, and also the Nurglings are off this objective. These troops got out of that Chimera, and then the Chimera plus the guys shot in, knocked him down to a single wound, and then assaulted in and finished him off. This Chimera plus the Wyvern back over here shot in and killed the Nurglings on that objective. The Brave Sentinel went up to roadblock the Defiler there. Finally, this guy just moved up and took an objective. These guys are performing deploy scramblers for me. And then the Manticore over in the corner has the Tank Ace for the flat 3 damage, shot in and put 9 damage onto this guy here. It just blasted him right in the face. He would have killed him, but he used the reroll stratagem to roll one of the dice and saved him just barely. But that flat 3 damage makes that guy a killer. So we're back with Chaos turn 2 and see where this wall of tanks ends up. Alright, so we're back with Death Guard turn 2, and in this mission you have to hold 2 objectives to get 5 points and 3 objectives to get the 10 points in the primary. So he's holding 2 of them at the start of his turn. He had this one with his Nurglings, and then way over there he had that one with his Nurglings. So he got the 5 points off the start, and then he shot in with his Plague Haulers here and blew up the front Chimera, and then they also put 4 wounds on the back Chimera. The 2 Plague Burst Crawlers, the front one has the Flamers attached, shot in and killed the squad that was there, and then the back one shot its las cannon with the entropy cannons, not las cannons, entropy cannons, and actually failed to do more damage to my Chimera there. But they did manage, both of them fired their mortars down into my Manticore and put 4 wounds onto it. Actually got really lucky with saves over there. I do have a single melta-gunner right there he is. From the wrecked Chimera. They also took a bunch of pot shots into the guys that were on the ground from the wrecked Chimera, and I have a single melta-gunner I failed morale on the other guy. There was 2 left. The other one ran away. Luckily, he stuck it out, and he's within 3 inches of this objective. So I am holding that. And then the other fire, this defiler shot in and killed my Chimera that was there. The squad bailed out that was inside and was actually able to get within 3 inches of the center objective. He then assaulted me because I had to get right next to the wall to get to that in range of that objective. And he was able to kill 8 of the squad. But there is still 2 there, and they are a troop choice, so they're holding that objective. So I'm currently holding 3 thanks to that Chimera being wrecked, but he did kill a lot of stuff. And he has Bring It Down as one of his secondaries. So he's going to get almost max points already for killing vehicles on Bring It Down. So we're back with guard turn 2 and see what I can do on my turn. Alright, so back at the end of guard 2. It didn't go as well as it could for us, but it didn't go horribly either. I brought my tank commander on back over there in the corner, hide behind the building. And him and a bunch of other fire went into the defiler that was here. And then of course the Ogren charged in and finished him off. So I am securing the center objective with Ogren right now. So hopefully there'll be a pretty solid brick there. Other than that, I moved a bunch of stuff out. My tanks have hunter killer missiles on them, and I shot in and tried to kill that last discordant in the back, but I just could not get him dead. So I finally shot him with the mana core again. Super overkill, but I needed him to die because he was giving +1 to hit against all these gnarly guns over here. So I'm probably going to lose most of this side of the board, but I got the discordant dead, and hopefully I'll be able to punch back and move out and take the other side of the table. So we'll kind of switch it into a long ways thing here. But we'll be back with Death Guard turn 3 and see how it goes. So back at the end of Death Guard turn number 3, and the guard weathered the turn pretty well, but he denied me a lot of points. So a bunch of shooting went in and killed this Chimera from these plague haulers here. The squad that was inside got out and jumped onto this objective. This lone guardsman took the, I think it's not a stubber, what's that thing called? Slugga. Took the Slugga off the front of here and the assault and actually survived somehow. But other than that, these mortars and stuff fired into that Chimera over there, and so did the Flamer, and it's only got 3 wounds left. Unfortunately for me, it actually survived because I needed it to die, so my objective secured troops could get out and hop on the objective because currently he's contesting it. So I'm only holding 2, and on this mission you need 3 to get the primary. Oh, to get max points of the primary anyway. So that's where we're at. It was just pretty much shooting into those 2 Chimeras. He did put a few pop shots down here into the Wyvern, but it just tanked him off. Oh, and he killed 1 Bulgrin with a smite from his Psyker back there. So that's it for Death Guard. He's almost maxed down his Bring It Down points, and we'll be back with Guard turn 3. Alright, so we're back at the end of Guard turn 3. At the start of the turn, I only held 2 objectives, so I only scored 5 points. And I did move off the center objective this turn, so I'm only going to score 5 on my next turn as well. But I needed to stop this wall of vehicles over here, and after a long time of thinking, the only thing I could do really was charge with the Bulgrin. So I gave up that middle objective, but he's only holding 2 now, so he's going to be held to 5 points on his turn. So I kind of just decided to make it a trade-off. Over here, my tank commander shot in and killed the bloat drone that's holding the objective. It did explode and deal damage to like everything over there. My mana core shot in, took down 1 of the plague burst crawlers. Another one there has 3 wounds left on it from some other shooting. I think, I shot a hunter killer missile from my tank commander down yonder and did some damage to him as well. I had some guardsmen infiltrate over here in the back with the strategic reserve. They shot in, they're just 4 Meltagun command squad, and killed the Nurglings. Actually killed 2 Nurglings. Last one failed the morale and ran away. So that was good for me, and that's it. So we just kind of shot some stuff off of objectives. Came in, I did get 3 points. I brought a lonely poor commander in way over there in the corner to get me my engage in all fronts points. So we'll be back with Death Guard turn 4. Alright, so Death Guard turn number 4. And there's not a lot left on the board, but they can still punch pretty well. This guy here fell back from combat and then used the stratagem so he can shoot after he fell back. His flamers shot in and wiped out the squad on the objective. And then there was also a lone guardsman, the Meltagun there. He shot in with his slugger and killed that. And then his mortar split fired off down here and shot my Melta squad outflanked and killed 3 of them. These guys finally disembarked from their Rhino and killed the other Melta squad that was there. And then finally, way over here in the corner, they're in the building so you can't see him. He's not actually on, he's just down there, he's just hiding. But these guys got out and shot and killed my commander that outflanked over there. So he's trying to deny me my engage in all front points. And then other than that, everything else was shot into the Bulgrin and able to kill 2 of them. So that's where we're at with Death Guard turn 4. He got 5 points in the primary that turn, and he's killed 4 for his grinding them down. So he's probably going to get that this turn because I don't think I'll be able to kill 4 units in his army. He's got that many left. So we're back with IG turn 4. Alright, so the end of guard turn 4. And really I just took some board control. Not a lot of shooting going on. My Demolisher moved up. He had to move his full 10 inches to get line of sight. Shot into this Rhino, and that Rhino tanked all the wounds like a boss. Rolled boxcars for the saves against my Demolisher cannon, so he survived. These guardsmen got out of that Chimera and advanced and took that objective. The Chimera moved up and is contesting that objective. The Bulgren charged into this thing, only had 3 wounds left, but they flopped. Actually, they didn't flop. He made a lot of feel no pain saves, and it's down to 1 wound left. And then this guy, the little brave hero way over here in the corner, I have deploy scramblers as one of my objectives, so he deployed my last scrambler back in the corner. So currently I do hold 3 objectives and contest another objective, but all he has to do is kill that Chimera, and then I don't anymore. It's got 4 wounds left. So we're back with turn 5, last turn for the Death Guard, and see how hard they can punch back on the last turn. Alright, the end of Death Guard turn 5, their last turn of the game, but they went out with a punch. They shot a bunch of stuff into the Chimera, of course, and killed it. That gave him his last points he needed for Bring It Down. And other than that, this guard squad that was here took a bunch of fire, and then he assaulted with the bloat drone, missed all of his attacks, and I rolled a 1 for my morale, so he stuck around. It doesn't really do me any good because he's holding the objective still, but it's just kind of funny that the guardman stood. Other than that, I did hold him to no points on the primary this turn because he held this objective, but in this mission he did hold 2 to get the 5 points. But then I punched this thing to death. He has a stratagem to automatically make it explode. I had this new unit coherency thing. I had a wounded Bulgren in the middle. So when it exploded, he died, which made this guy over here out of coherency. So during the coherency check, he died. And also the explosion killed my Psyker that was hiding around the corner. So that was rather unfortunate. But they're still alive. They're still holding the objective. It was just kind of sad to see that many Bulgren go from an explosion. And so that's where we're at. He did kill 2 for he has grind them down, which is like the attrition objective, so I had to kill at least 2 things this turn to stop him from getting that. So we're back with guard turn 5. Alright, so we're back at the end of the game with guard turn 5. It was a super quick turn. The Ogren just moved up. I don't need objectives anymore because it's the end of the game. So they moved up, assaulted, and killed the last Blight Hauler. My Demolisher tank commander shot in and killed the Rhino in the middle. And then finally my Wyvern, who bravely hid behind this building the whole game, shot in and killed the last Nurgling. And I just needed to kill 2 units to make sure he didn't get his grind them down, like the attrition. I scored 5 points on my primary because I held 2 objectives, and then I was able to max out Bring It Down this turn from killing his vehicles. And in the end, the Imperial Guard scored 76 to 60 for the Death Guard. So I was able to avenge my Necrons, who fought against this Death Guard army a few weeks back and got totally blown out. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back next time.